Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. We are going to be doing some factoring. So if you know anybody that's in algebra that is struggling with factoring, please share this live with them. Let's get the double taps going on and let's practice. Welcome in everyone. So number one says q squared minus 121. Thank you for the double taps. I do see them coming in. This is called a difference of squares, okay? And a difference of squares says you're going to have two parentheses. Your operations are going to be plus and a minus, okay? And the thing about difference of squares is you have to think about what times what gives you q. So q times q. And then what times what gives you 121. But remember, you're thinking about a square. So 11 times 11 gets you 121. It has to be a number times itself to get you that. And that's how you factor a difference of squares. All right, let's go to number 2. So we have r to the 4th minus k to the 4th. Okay, again, we have a difference of squares. So we're going to put two parentheses. Automatically put our plus and minus. Okay. Welcome in, everyone. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I do see those double taps coming in. Thank you. Thank you. Can we get to 5K double taps? I'm double tapping with you guys. So can somebody put what's going to be in our first parenthesis? How do we write that? R, okay, good. R squared, good. R squared plus K squared, let's go. Yes, so it's R squared because we're thinking about what times itself can get you R to the 4th. Well, R squared times R squared. And then K to the 4th is K squared times K squared. Remember, whenever you multiply variables, you add their exponents. That's why we're getting 4. And that's why we have r squared times r squared. Okay, so this is not a difference of squares. This is a sum of perfect squares, which is non-factorable. So this cannot factor when it has a plus sign. So you just drop that down. R squared plus K squared. But over here, I hope you're recognizing another difference of squares. This is what I'm doing in my math class right now. Oh, good, DeAndre. You're doing this right now in your math class. That's wonderful. All right, so we're going to do plus and minus. Okay. Can I see it in the chat, you guys? What is this difference of squares going to factor down to? What is it going to go to? Thank you for the follow. Can we double tap our screen? Keep on double tapping, you guys. Thank you for sharing, Janice. JC, Thank you, Vanessa, for the share. All right, so remember, we're asking ourselves what times what can get us r squared? Well, r times r. And then what times what can get us k squared? K times k. And this right here is our complete factor polynomial, okay? All right, we have w to the 4th minus 625. Again, this is a difference of squares, so we're going to start with two parentheses. We have a plus and a minus whenever we do a difference of squares. Hello, hi. And then we're going to ask ourselves, what times what gives us w to the 4th? Well, w squared. Does anybody know a number times itself to get you 625? Can I see it in the chat? Thank you for the heart me. Sherilyn, thank you. 25. AJ said 25. Beautiful, AJ. Yes, 25 times 25 get you 625. Okay, are we done? That's the question. Are we done or do we have more? Let me see. More or done? Put it in the comments. Quadratic equations plus sometimes failed. Oh, I'm so sorry. Christian failed my GED because of those. Oh, don't give up. If that's the only reason and you were close to passing, just focus on this algebra section for the GED. Go back and take it in a month. If you're close, just practice the algebra. Get a tutor. I tutor. If you're looking for tutoring, hit me at impactmath19@gmail. But whatever you do, don't give up. It's only a matter of time before you pass that test, okay? Thank you for sharing. So W plus 5. Good. I see the W plus 5. Good. Okay. So yes, we're not done. Remember, this has to stay the same. W squared plus 25. And then this is another difference of squares. So we have another plus and minus. And we have W times W. And then 5 times 5. And this is our beautiful answer. All right, wonderful, you guys. Good. Number 4 says r squared minus 9t squared. Hey, Mags. Thank you, Mags. Mags, if anybody is in here looking for real estate help, Mags is the bomb when it comes to real estate. I always want to give her a shout out because she teaches me when I join her live so much about real estate math. It's incredible. And so if you're looking for help, she has a whole program, affordable. I mean, she's fantastic. She always goes live every day. So if you're struggling and you want to get your real estate license, hit her up. Good. So AJ said R plus 3T. Cora said R plus 3T. Let's go. Yes. So R times R gives us R squared. And then like you guys said, 3T times 3T gives us 9T squared. And this is it. Perfect, perfect. Good, you guys. Any questions? Any questions on how we got this one? Any questions? No? All right, let's keep on going then. So we're going to do 2 parentheses. Okay, we have our plus and our minus. H to the 4th, remember it's H squared times H squared. Now, does anybody know 256? Sometimes the numbers look intimidating, but this definitely helps. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome, Fancy. 25. Remember, 25 times 25 was 625. So we're thinking about a number times itself. So if you're allowed to use a calculator, you guys, what you can do is take the square root of 256. You can always do that with the difference of squares. You could take the square root of that. Good. And I see the 16s coming in. Yes. So 16 times 16 gives us 256. Now, I didn't check that. I believe that's it. Let me check on let's get a calculator. So 256. And if we do the square root, yep, it's 16. It is 16. All right, I have a question. Are we done? Are we done? Yes, I do algebra too. Yeah. No. Good. We are not done. Don't lose all your points on doing this first step and then not continuing. That's my baby in the background. Thank you. Thank you, Maggie, for the roses. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So we have a plus and a minus. And then h times h. And then what times itself gives us 16, you guys? Good. I see 4 in the comments. Maggie said 4. Beautiful. 4 times 4. And this is our answer. So this is a practice of difference of squares, okay? You will see them throughout. Algebra 2, you'll see them on the GED. ASVAB, you'll see them, okay? So these will, if you're going into those fields, they're never going to go away. All right, now let's get to the factor by grouping, okay? Factor by grouping. So you know this is factor by grouping when you have 4 terms, okay? 4 terms. So what do we mean by factor by grouping? We only look at the first 2. We only look at the first 2. So what can we factor out of the first 2? What do they have in common? X, 2x, x squared. Okay, good. Okay, now I saw 2x, but remember this 2 can't come out because it doesn't have, this is a 1 right here, and 2 can't be taken out of 1. But we can take out an x squared because we have 3 here and 2 here. So with that, you put a parenthesis. And then it's like you're working backwards, like you're saying x squared times what can give me 2x to the third? Well, I'm missing a 2. And I have 2, but I need 3. I'm missing 1 more x. Good. Erica, I see you. 2x. Yes, Erica. Minus x squared times what gives us x squared? Can I see this? What are we going to put here? What's going to go in the chat? Anaya said 1. Hey, Anaya, welcome back. Thank you, Noelle, for the rose. 1, 1, 1. Beautiful, you guys. 1. Perfect. Good. Because anything times 1 is that thing. So x squared times 1 is x squared. Perfect. Now, let's go to the next pair here. Okay. Now we have to think, what can we factor out of here? This is kind of a little bit more tricky, right? Because it's like 162 and 81. Well, 81. Okay, so we're thinking 81. Does 81 go into 162? That's the question. So I'm going to take a calculator. And how we're going to do that is we're going to do 162 divided by 81. Yep, good. Okay, so now, okay, you see how this leads by a negative? We always want to take that out. So we're going to put negative 81. And why we're doing that, let me explain why. These 2 parentheses that we're about to write must match up. The only way that they're going to match up is if we take out a negative 81. And let me explain. So when we do this, we're really dividing this by a negative 81, okay? So a negative divided by a negative gets us a positive 2x. Well, if I divide this by a negative 81, a positive divided by a negative gets us that negative. And 81 divided by 81 is 1. How you know you did factor by grouping correct is if these 2 things, these 2 parentheses match up. If they don't match up, stop. You did something wrong, okay? So now that ours match up, we could take our outers, which is here, x squared minus 81. And then we drop down one of our pairs that are alike, 2x minus 1. Now I got a question for you guys. Are we done or do we keep on going? good. People are saying keep going. So what can we keep on going? What can we factor more? If we FOIL back, we'll end up getting this, which we don't want to go backwards. Good, the difference of squares. Liv, I see you. Beautiful. Yes, you guys. See how I told you? They'll always show back up, sneaky up in there. So plus and minus, x, x. What times itself gets you 81? 9 and 9. And then we drop down. Don't forget to drop down your 2x minus 1. And this is totally factored all the way down. Good, you guys. All right, let's keep it going. Okay, so number 2. Tell me, what can we take out of the first group? Does anybody know? Oh, thank you, Lion. Lion said he in calculus, or she is in calculus 1. And these videos still help. C2, C2, 3, C2. Ooh, 3C. Okay, so we can't take out a 3 because we can't take out a 3 out of a 2. Okay, because these don't go into each other. But they do have a C squared. So then you ask yourself, C squared times what will give me 3C to the cube? Well, I need a 3, C squared, and I need one more C, okay, to make it 3. Plus, I already have C squared. The only thing I'm missing is that 2. So I've dropped down the 2. All right. Now we're going to go to this grouping here. What can we take out of these? Let me see it in the chat. What can we take? What can we take out of these? Let me see it in the chat. What can we take? Hours ago on my SAT. Oh man. Why only 3C? Because okay, so somebody said why only 3C? Let's talk about it. Here we have 3C cubed over C to the second. We're dividing these, really. When we factor out, really, we're dividing it, okay? So what that means is we're going to be left with the 3. And then C to the third over C to the second. Remember, you subtract your exponents when you divide the variables. So 3, so C3 minus 2 gives us just 1C. And that's why we end up with just 3C there. Does that make sense? Did that help? Oh, Dane said I thought it was C to the 8th. My bad. No, that's my bad handwriting. That's to the 3rd. Okay. All right. So 98 and 147. I don't know if I see anything. Let's see. You guys, this is a 3. I'm sorry. It looks like an 8, but it is a 3. It's a 3. Let me write it up here. This is a 3, okay? All right, so let's go 98. Does 147, can it go into 98? No. So 147, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. So 3 can go into it. 3 and 49. 98. Does 7 go into? 7. So we could take out a 7 out of this, you guys. You is singing today. You singing? You teaching them math too? Yeah. There you go. All right. So if we have -7, right, then we can divide this by -7. So let's see. So 147 divided by 7 is going to give us 21. I might not have gone high enough, you guys, but we'll see. No, I didn't because I need a 3 here. So is it 14? 147 divided by 14. Nope. Oh, is it 21? 147 divided by 21 is 7. 98 divided by 21. No. Okay, let me just keep on going. Let me just see. So my plus. Do you guys see what I'm doing? Is it 49? Oh, it's 49. Thank you. Thank you. Because I'm like, what is it? Okay, sometimes you guys scratch it out. Okay, so if I take out a negative 49 like you guys said, then we do 147 divided by 49. Good. And we get 3C plus 98 divided by 49 is going to give us 2. Perfect. Thank you, you guys, because I was not seeing it for the life of me. So we have, I'm going to drop this down, C squared, 3C plus 2. Thank you. Thank you so much for you guys putting 49 in the chat. I love it when we work together. It's the best. So now you see how these are the same. That's when we know we did it right, okay? So we're going to take our outers, which is C squared minus 49, and we're going to write down one of our 3C plus 2. Okay, now the question comes again. Do I stop here and move on, or do we have more to go? What is it? Liv, you doing this in class right now? Good. Keep going. Good. Yes. Right here, we have another difference of squares, right? So when we see a difference of squares, we put 2 parentheses. Our sign has to be a positive and a negative. And then we say, what times what gets us C squared? Well, C times C. And what times what gets us 49? 7 times 7. And then don't forget to drop down your 3C plus 2. And that right there is your beautiful answer. I do tutoring, and I do Google Meets, and we work on Jamboards, so you can see me writing, I see you writing. If you're looking for tutoring, you guys, email me at impactmath@gmail.com. Also, if you want to review this lesson, I always post everything on my YouTube page. So go follow me at impactmath19. Oops, don't forget the 19, you guys. impactmath19 at Gmail or impactmath19 on YouTube, okay? Okay, so any questions so far on this one? Has anybody got any questions? Yep. So this page is mostly dedicated to 6th grade and up. All the way up to pre-calc. Not calculus, unfortunately. Okay, so number 3. Let's go to number 3. So we have 4m third plus 9m squared. All right, let me see it in the chat. What is the GCF? What can we take out of this first part? Fancy, I love calculus too. And I'm so because I used to be an instructional aide in college when I was getting my bachelor's degree in mathematics. And you know how you have the math lab, and I used to be a beast at it. And then when I became a teacher, if you're not teaching it, you lose a lot of it. So it's why did I let my skills go? M squared. Allison, no. I do like the basic statistics, but not like the college statistics. So M squared. Good. M squared. I saw somebody put it in the chat. M squared. Beautiful. So M squared. So then we ask ourselves, M squared times what can give us 4m to the third? Well, a 4, and we have 2 m's. We need one more m to make it to the third. Okay. Plus m squared. We already have the m squareds. We just need the 9. So it's 4m plus 9. Yeah, you feel like all statistics are the same, just word problems? Nah, when you get to the college level, ooh, it's way different. It's way different than, unless I guess you do AP statistics in high school. If you're in AP statistics, that might be similar, but it's way different. I failed it twice and I hate it. Yeah, it's a lot of like the language in college. Yeah, it's a whole completely different vocab, I tell you. All right, so negative 36m minus 81. What can we take out of these? 9. Good, you guys. Yes. Okay, now are we going to take out a positive 9 or a negative 9 is the question. Is it positive 9 or negative 9? Negative 9. Yes, it has to be negative because in this parenthesis here, it's all positive. So we're going to do negative 9. And then if we divide this by negative 9 and divide this by negative 9, that will tell us what goes in here. So negative 36 divided by negative 9 is 4m. And negative 81 divided by negative 9 is plus 9. We did it correct because both of these are the same. So now we could take our outers, put them together, and drop down 4m plus 9. Okay. All right, we have another, I hope you're saying it, I hope you're seeing it, difference of squares. Okay, m squared minus 9. So whenever you have a difference of squares, remember that's a plus and a minus. And that's going to be m. And then what times itself gives you 9? Well, 3 times 3. And then we're going to drop down our 4m plus 9. And this right here is our beautiful math. Okay. All right. So now you guys, so we did difference of squares. We did factor by grouping with difference of squares in them. Okay. Now what we're going to do is some multiple choice that you might see on the ACT, SAT. You can see these on the GED, HESI. Nah, not so much HESI, but for sure ASVAB. Okay, you'll see it on there. So let's start. It says number 1, what is the result of factoring the expression 4x squared plus 12x? Is it A, B, C, or D? What do you guys say? Okay, I see A. Ooh, we're getting a whole bunch of A's. Okay, I see 1 C. Okay. So, so let's factor. So when we're looking at these, we're looking for what do they have in common? Always our greatest common factor. Well, they have a 4 that can go on to 12 and 4. So we're going to take that out. And they both share an X. So we can take that out. Right then and there, anything that doesn't have a 4x is out. So C is out. That limited our choices to A, B, or C, okay? Now, what we're really doing is dividing this by 4x to see what we get inside our parenthesis. So 4x times what can give us x squared? We need one more x, okay? Plus 4x times what can give us, well, if we divide this, 12 divided by 4 is 3. X divided by x cancels. And so that's why it is A as our answer. But let's talk about, thank you, Caitlin, for the roses. Let's talk about why this B it wasn't even an answer. Because you see how they have 2x plus 6? We could still factor out something out of these. So this automatically was wrong anyway, because when it says factor, you want it to its lowest. This was wrong because when we distribute this back in here, 4 times 6 is going to give us 24, not 12. So that's why that one was wrong also. Hey, Kaylin. Thank you so much for the roses. And I'm glad you're here. We're just going over factoring. And yep. So we working on factoring. All right, so let's do number 2. Somebody said I'm cooking. I love it. Which of the following is a factor of x squared minus 9? Okay, I see D, B. This one is a little bit tricky. I think this one, because it could be A and B. Yeah. It should have said select all that apply. Like, you know how sometimes it says that? Select all that apply. That's what this should have said. I probably got lazy and didn't put that. Come on, you want to say hi? Yep, select all that apply. So, remember, this is a difference of squares. So if we have x minus 3, then it also will be x plus 3. Because whenever you have a different squares, minus plus, 3 times 3 gives us 9. X times x gives us x squared. So A and B is your answer choices. Those are the factors. Okay. This should have said select all that applies, you guys. Okay. All right. So number 3, factorize the expression 3x squared minus 12x plus 9. All right. What do we get for number 3? D for 3. Okay. D. Ooh. C. We getting C. Okay. All right. So let's talk about it. Okay. The first thing we always want to do when we're factoring is look for the GCF. What can we take out of this first? Does anybody know? What can we factor out of this first? Factor out a 3. Good. Yes. So if I factor out a 3, that means I'm dividing this by 3, this by 3, and this by 3. That's my first step. So then I would be left with x squared, because this would cancel. Negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4x. And 9 divided by 3 is plus 3. Okay. Now, okay, so I'm looking. Okay, they all have 3. So that doesn't help me, right? I can't eliminate anything yet. Well, technically I can, but okay. So we're going to go here, 3, and then we're going to go straight to 2 parentheses. Whenever you have a trinomial, you go straight to 2 parentheses. There's a trick that says if your middle term is the only thing that's negative, both must be negative. And by us knowing that, if we know this trick, right, this rule, then A is out. A has to just be out because A has a minus and plus, and then it can only be a minus and minus. Okay. So now we're going to say what times what can give us x squared? Well, x times x, right? Then what times what gets us 3? only 3 times 1 does. So our answer is, do you guys see it? Good. I see somebody says C. C is our answer. See, B and D were the same answer. Because when you see this squared means, it means that this is repeated. So B and D were the same. So they had to be out too. What about the 4x? Good question. Well, how we know it's negative 4x is you could check it by doing your inner and outer. Okay? You can always do this by checking your inner and outer. So negative 3 times x is negative 3x. X times negative 1 gets us negative 1x. If we add these, we get negative 4x. That's what we needed these to add up to make sure we got it correct. And since they did, this is our beautiful answer. Yep. No worries. Teddy said, dang. No worries. Yeah, so this is the rules. Like, if you know this rule, when B is the only negative, both terms have to be negative. That helps, you know. Thanks. Oh, you're so welcome, Star. Nice. Okay, good. All right, let's do some more. Let's do some more multiple choice. Okay. You gonna let me do it? All right. So, what are the roots of the quadratic equation? So, roots. First, we have to understand what roots are. Okay. Roots are the answers. So, we're solving for x. Okay. That's what that means. So, let's first factor this. Okay. Let's factor. So our signs are all positive. So that's a good thing. So we know it's going to be plus, plus. Okay. Then we're going to say what times what gives us 2x squared. Can I see it in the chat, you guys? What times what gives us 2x squared? Oh, you didn't do this and you're in Algebra 1? Okay. Maybe you just didn't get to it yet, hopefully, or 2x times x. Good. So 2x times x. Beautiful. Now, what times what gets us 3? Well, we need 1 times 3. Now, some of us might be like, well, how do we know it's that? Because where's the 7x, right? Well, remember, you can always check your outer times your inner and make sure you got that 7x. So 1 times x is 1x. 2x times 3 gives us 6x. If we add these, we get 7x. So we know we factored correctly. Now, remember, this is equal to 0. So we're not done quite yet. We have to solve these, okay? We have to solve them. And how we solve them is we set them equal to 0. X plus 3 equals 0. How do we solve this? Good. Okay. How do we solve this? What do we have to do? Good, Millie. Welcome back. Minus 3. Julie said minus 3. Good. So we minus 3 to both sides. And knowing this, C and D are out. Now we have a 50-50 chance. Okay. We have, where are we going to do this one? So I'm going to squeeze it up in here, you guys. 2x plus 1 equals 0. How do we solve this? What is our first step we have to do? Thank you for the double taps, you guys. minus 1. Good, Marley. Minus 1, minus 1. And then we drop down our 2x equals negative 1. Last step always. Thank you so much for the roses. Divide both sides by 2. And x equals negative 1 over 2. And so A is our answer. Any questions on that? Thank you so much for the dinos. And thank you for hanging with me on a Wednesday, you guys. Nope, no questions. Beautiful. All right, let's go on. Let's do number 5. What is the greatest common factor, GCF, of 24x to the squared y and 18x y squared? Let me see your answers in the chat. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the rows. A. Okay, we have A. We have 6. Okay. 6xy. Okay. And that right there is my alarm to tell me I gotta go. Okay, so let's finish out with this one, you guys. Well, let's finish out. We got time. So 24x squared. So both of them the GCF. So let me do it step by step for people that are confused on how to find the GCF. I did just post a video on this. So we ask ourselves what times what gives us 24. We could do 4 times 6. And then 2 times 3. And this will be 2 times 2, okay? This is where we stop because these are primes. Then we say 18 is 3 times 6. And then we have 2 times 3, okay? So if we list them, 24 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And 18 is 2 times 3 times 3. Well, when you're finding the greatest common factor, you're looking for what they have in common. They have a 2 and they have a 3. So our GCF for the number is going to be 2 times 3, which is 6. So B is out, okay? Now, when you're looking at the variables, you look for the smallest variable. So here we have just an x, and here this one just has just a y. And that's why A is our answer. So I hope this helps somebody that really needs to understand GCF and how to find it. All right, this last one was pretty much our whole lesson. Difference of squares, right? So do you guys get A, B, C, or D? Oh, you're so welcome and good luck on your T's. I cannot wait to hear the good news that you passed and got into your program. So good luck. C? Okay, so we got a C. Ooh. See, B. Okay, we getting C's and B's. All right, so difference of squares here. Remember, whenever we do a difference of squares, we have a plus and a minus. And then we say what times what times itself gives us x to the 4th. Well, x squared times x squared. And then what times itself gets you 16. What times itself? 8 times 8 gets you 64. Not 16. So that's why C is out. 4 times 4 gets us 16. Okay, but remember, we can never factor this. But we have another difference of squares. So we would go here. Plus and minus. And then we have x times x. And then what times what gets us 4? 2 times 2. We always have to drop this one down. So our answer is going to be B. It is B. So if you said B, congratulations. If you did not get B, I hope you understand where your mistake was. And thank you so much for hanging with me on a Wednesday. Have a wonderful rest of your day, you guys. And I hope to catch you on the next one. Okay? Bye, everyone.